Linda here, the scrapbooking photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. Today is a very special day. We are celebrating 1,000 subscribers for Mel Walkden from MelWScrapping. Mel is a great support for everybody new and experienced to this world of YouTubing scrapbooking videos, and it's great to be able to celebrate her. If you haven't seen her channel, then hop on over and have a look. There's a link below, and there'll also be a link to everybody else taking part in this great celebration. So Mel's request for us was to do something that we loved, and she just made a little hint that she likes mixed media. So I couldn't really do a celebration for Mel without getting a bit messy. And I found the Mixed Media Mayhem prompt for this week is this one, which just says Mel to me. So I thought I'd get a bit messy trying to use this as inspiration. So I've got these photos here that I'm going to use, and I've picked a very vanilla piece of cardstock from Stampin' Up, which is the same colour as the house. And all these flowers is what I'm going to kind of bring into the mixed media. So I'm thinking that I'll do a back frame of the darker purple and have the very vanilla just inside there. This colour I'm going to use to mount these photos, but I want them to be all mounted at once rather than individually. So I'm going to stick them on here and then trim around them. So I'll do that first. So once I've stuck the photos on where I want them, the way I line them up on my trimmer is so that the cutting line is on the clear cardstock and the edge of the photo is just underneath there. I don't know if you can see where it is, just underneath the edge of the guideline. And that seems to give the right kind of distance. Now the blade is actually in the middle, so I can go a little bit past there, and then coming in from the other side, making sure it's straight, I can do the same here and bring the blade down to the bottom and then work my way up. Now it's not going to quite meet, but using that as a guide, I can see when I get to that cut line, and then I can just tidy it up a little bit in that corner so that it doesn't rip. And just pull this while I gently bring it down until it comes out. Here we go. Okay, and then we've got our photos mounted on one piece of cardstock, and that's going to go kind of there. Oh, I need to cut 1/2 inch off two sides of these so that I have got a frame, and then we'll have it the right size before we start the mixed media. Now I'm also going to gut the inside of this back paper, but you don't need to see that on video, so I'll do that off camera. So I'll get rid of the photos and the back sheet, because all we want to work on is this one. Now, because I want the text to come through a little bit, I want some lighter colours on here so that the black's going to show up, and I obviously want some purple as well, just a little bit of purple. I'm not going to worry too much about the top because that's where the photos are. So what I'm going to do is just put some on my all-purpose mat. You could do this on a glass mat as well if you had a glass mat. And we'll just try it with the brayer. So I'll put some water on here just to mix it up a bit. So the distress oxides react with the water, and then we can just bring these colours on and mix them all around the brayer. And that gets us started, and then we can put some on the other bits by picking it all up. Okay, now obviously we're going to need some more, so I'm going to do it again from this side. That one was in the middle. Dusty Concord at the bottom and Kitsch Flamingo at the top. And you can see how they all kind of blend in and get a bit messy. So we'll just spray them again so they're nice and damp. And then use the brayer to bring them into this side. Now, of course, that is upside down. So we're going to turn it back this way, to pick up those last bits there. Because I really wanted the purple colours at the bottom, but it all blends in, so it doesn't really matter. And I want a little bit more down the bottom. I'm just going to do some Dusty Concord along the bottom because it's a darker colour, and I want that to give some grounding to the page. Now, it looks like a hot mess when you do this, but I'm hoping that when I'm finished adding the text and the other stamps I've got in mind, that it'll look quite nice. Right, so I'm just going to leave that to dry. Actually, I might use my heat tool and just give it a little dry off so I can carry on. Oh, might need a little bit more up the top. And I'll use the Kitsch Flamingo up the top because it's the lighter of the three. Put some nearly empty. I have to fill up my water container again. And you don't need to clean the brayer in between applications. It's just helps to mix them all up. That kind of puts me in mind of the Aurora or something. Okay, so I'll just clean this up and give that a little bit of a dry off with my tool, and I'll be back in a second. So I've dried that off with my heat tool. Now it's noisy, so I won't do it while it's on camera, but when you dry it, it tends to wrinkle the paper a little bit. So to minimise that, you can do some from the front and then turn it over and do it from the back, and it kind of reverses the wrinkles a bit. It does get a little bit crinkled, and you could avoid that by putting gesso on underneath, but I don't have any at the moment, so I've done it this way. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of text. Now these text stamps from Stampin' Up are pretty cool. They are cling stamps, and I'm finding that the cling stamps have really good detail in them. So I haven't prepared this one, so let me just put the sticker on it so we can see what we're doing. Obviously done the others in the set, but not this long thin one. So we'll just put that on. There we go. So I'll put it on a block. It's a very grubby block, but you can see through there what it's going to be. I'm going to try it out behind where the photos are going to go. Yeah, cool. So I just want, don't necessarily need to be able to see what it says, just a couple of bits. I don't even want it particularly clear stamping. I've also got these bigger words just to provide a little bit of a contrast, which is what they're doing on that mixed up media inspiration. But what I'm going to do is just use part of the word. So I'm getting a little bit of ink on here, and again I don't necessarily want it to be perfect, and I'll try it underneath where the photos are going to go. Okay, so I want it a little bit more than that. That'll do with that one. I think we'll have just a little bit of a check where our photos sit and what they look like. Yep, cool. And then when we bring in this colour behind, it gives us a bit more base as well. Now you'll see here that I've just made a mess there with when it was a little bit wet. So I'm actually going to make it an intentional hole, and I'll make another one up here. There's no such thing as an accident, and then a little bit along the bottom as well, so that we've got 3 little peepholes through to the back. Right, the next thing we're going to do is bring in this beautiful cornflower, which I think is the same flower as is on that mixed media inspiration. And this, I think, coming in here of the black, and we can probably do it in a couple of different areas. It's a brand new stamp. I haven't used it before, so we'll see what it looks like. It's quite a big stamp pad. I'm thinking we can put 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, we'll do it in the black, but this time I want the stamping to work properly, so I will bring in the sponge backing. Right, so we've got 3 flowers coming in there. I might put this butterfly again in the black. It's just about where we want to be, but I want to bring a little bit more of this colour in. So I'll see if I can find the die cut that goes with this, and we can put one of those in here as well. I've got the die cut there, and I'll pop it through my little mini machine. And here's the second one. The stamping doesn't quite line up with the die cut, but that's okay, I think, in this case, because it's a fairly mixed media look. We're not after perfection. That will just give us the 5th one. So I need a couple of stems, so I'll use this as well for the stems, so I'll cut 2 of them out just to come from under there. Right, so I think I'm ready to stick everything down now. On the back of the main page, I've used some double-sided tape because I think that will do a better job than my tape runner at keeping it nice and flat against the frame that we put on the background. I'm looking forward to seeing what other people come up for with this hop for Mel and the mixed media. She does like her mixed media, does Mel, and I have to say she's been very encouraging as I've got to practice more and more with the mixed media. And Mel is one of those people who is very supportive of anything. She watches all the videos and comments on them, and is a very supportive member of our community. So thank you very much, Mel, for all you do. I've got a few little purple gems here that need to be used up, so I'll just pop these around in different places. Oops. Always a good feeling when you finish something out of your stash. Okay, so there is my mixed media page for Mel's celebration hop. Congratulations again, Mel, on 1,000 subscribers. For those of you wondering where my journal and title is, it will be on the companion page, so I haven't needed to include that in amongst all of this work. These photos were taken as we were leaving, so it's the end of a trip to England to see these people. So this is the final page, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting, everyone.